All right, well, welcome everyone to another edition of the Unpredictable Pipeline as we talk to marketing leaders who are leading their organizations, leading their marketing teams through what has been a fairly unpredictable year. And with us today is Cynthia Gumbert. She's the CMO at SmartBear. And Cynthia, I was looking forward to this conversation because you've got some really great examples of things you have done in the organization, with your company, and in your market, to really sort of take advantage of this time to create some momentum and efficiencies. Maybe start just by introducing yourself, your role, and what SmartBear does.
Absolutely. Yep, I've been at SmartBear nearly a year and a half now, running marketing. SmartBear is a company that has a portfolio of tools to help software developers and software testers test for quality across everything from APIs to how much load an e-commerce site can take, to whether it's working on different mobile devices and browsers. So we kind of test the whole portfolio of use and everything, just to make sure people's software is getting out the door with high quality.
And once January, February, best laid plans for the year, March hits, obviously sort of resources start to contract a little bit. And it sounds like for you guys, it really sort of forced what ended up being a good thing in terms of being really crisp on who you're targeting and why, and putting the right resources in the right place. And it sounds like that actually increased, alignment between sales and marketing as a result. Talk a little bit about that process and what the outcome was for you guys.
Absolutely. We've really had to, hyper focus a lot of things this year. We're very horizontal. Everybody is a software company these days. There's software developers in all industries. And we don't, specifically focus on certain industries. At the beginning of the year, we had to really look at, or at the beginning of COVID, we had to look at who's developing much faster and needing to get more, e-commerce out the door, or, healthcare apps, or things that are just seeing incredible spikes in demand and need. And then, other industries, cruise ships and that sort of thing are a little, on a slowdown stage of not developing as quickly. So yeah, it's really forced a lot of alignment and prioritization, and just, focus on where we can help the most.
And some of that, it sounds like, has been just leveraging some of the tools and predictive analytics you have to know which prospects to be speaking to at what time, to know which of them are more likely to be engaging both with your predictive targets as well as with your lead scoring. Talk about how you have evolved and really tightened your process around lead scoring and identifying ready to engage prospects.
Yeah, and we were already down the path of putting in place some predictive analytics to refine lead scoring. Believe it or not, some of our products, we have more leads than we know what to do with. So we've had to narrow it to the ones that really are the best fit conversations for us and, are showing interest now. Once, COVID hit, we sort of pivoted our predictive models to incorporate, industries that are seeing spikes in demand, and that's worked its way into a lot of the modeling and scoring. And, our lookalike sales look very different this year than they did last year because of those, spikes on the one hand and dips and, low points for some other groups. So, that said, we've incorporated that into lead scoring. We've kind of been able to prioritize and remove out leads that are unlikely to convert now. However, we are seeing a lot of conversations and pipeline building up in every industry, even those hard hit, travel and entertainment. They really aren't slowing down their software development. They're thinking about the future, and we don't want to ignore anybody if they're coming in and interested. So we're just looking at that in terms of longer horizon, more nurture of those, deals and potential prospects and customers, and more, helping them move along without pushing to sell immediately.
Well, I imagine that focus on prospects that are more likely to be interested now, that are more likely to be willing to talk, that's got to be good news for the sales organization. Talk about how the relationship that you have with sales has evolved and really improved this year because of what you're now doing from a focus standpoint.
Yeah, aside from just looking at our lead scoring and prioritizing, we've done a lot of new things to engage the sales team and, keep them kind of motivated and working very closely with us. There's a lot of joint planning of activities. We've started a customer spotlight series, which is something new where it's very conversational. Um, um, webinars with customers literally around the world. We've had one in France and Australia, all over the place, who just want to talk about their own journey with software development and what tools they're using. And that is with our sales team as well as other prospects on the line. So we've taken advantage of having a lot of, time just to have conversations with both our internal team and our customers. Sales team as well, we've started doing weekly news flashes of what tools they have available to them. We've opened up a lot of new Slack channels with our sales enablement team as well on sharing information. We're revising all of our wiki pages internally with content, so we're taking a lot of time just to make things easy for sales to find what they need.
That's great. It seems like you guys have also used this period of time to sort of do a little sort of internal housekeeping and sort of creating more efficiency for marketing and sort of go-to-market strategy moving forward. I mean, SmartBear's been on a heck of a growth streak over the last few years and done a lot of acquisitions. And while acquisitions can help with growth and give you momentum, it also can create challenges because now you have all these different brands and sort of legacy systems. Talk a little bit about sort of the One SmartBear initiative and how that has really sort of set you up for efficiency and success in the future.
Yeah, we kind of started down the path of putting in place our core values as a company at the very beginning of the year before COVID, and have taken that down the journey of saying we're really going to invest in our brand and invest in who we are as a holistic company, versus somebody made up of a lot of acquisitions that look different. So we started an initiative called One SmartBear, and that's not just a branding. It starts with branding. It starts with all of our web properties looking the same, all of our content using the same core messaging, and everything kind of looking like a unified company. But more than that, it's trickling into our product, and we're working on a lot of initiatives for our product to, or all of our different tools to really start to converge and have a similar experience, from trials to, the entire user journey. So it's the beginning of a several year initiative, but we've had, fortunately, the time to sit back and really think this through and work on this as a major, brand evolution of the company.
My last question for you is just, what is something that maybe has surprised you this year? I think there's been a lot thrown at us in terms of headwinds in the business, challenges in terms of generating pipeline. Is there something that has surprised you that you think, you may not have discovered or identified if we hadn't reached these headwinds, and something that, may actually be a best practice or have a legacy impact for the business or for marketing moving forward?
Yeah, I think, on the surprise side, I think kindness in our industry, that people are so willing to share, what they're doing, how they're feeling, and just talk to us. We've had, a lot of people out there in especially the software test and quality community, engage with us on social media. They're a very vocal group to begin with, but they joined our event way back in April, SmartBear Connect, and we've had ongoing conversations with a lot of influencers in the community who just, like to find the time to talk and connect, and it's been really good for us. So there's a lot of goodness out there. We've channeled a lot of that into, donating to some global diversity and inclusion causes. as well, supported by our customers at our event. And you know, it's good just to see some good for the world coming out of this year.
Yeah.
At a corporate level.
Well, silver linings for sure. I mean, this isn't the year that most of us wanted to have, but you know, it sounds like
Right.
you're doing some good progress and have a good path for the future. Cynthia Gumbert, CMO of SmartBear, thank you again for joining us and sharing a little bit about your unpredictable pipeline this year.
Thank you, Matt.
All righty.
All right.